So, Mark, did you see the promo at the Beverly Theater? Everyone got in for free with the words, "I'm Joe Lombardo." Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised that he got let off. I mean, a lot of times I've been let off by cops or got given warnings if it's a simple infraction. But just the way he acted about it, like, come on, man, like, why are you pulling me over? Don't you know who I am? If he would have just played it cool, he would have got let go anyway, and there would be no video. I mean, everything's taped these days. Think about it.
The best thing to come from this is that billboard on the freeway. This comes from Vital Vegas, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one time that graffiti works well.
So happy post Slotapalooza to everybody, otherwise known as Wednesday. But Slotapalooza was at Circa this last weekend. We hadn't talked a lot about it, but this is the second year that they did this big slot fan fest where they have all of the slot manufacturers there for different events. They have their hot seats where everybody's winning cash every few minutes and a lot of other stuff going on this weekend. So a great event, and it's really interesting. We've talked about slot channels, the growth of slot enthusiasts, I guess, and this is an event for them.
Yeah, it'd be fun just to watch around and see all the weird things people do when they're doing slot pulls. Some people smack the machine, smack the buttons, do dances. Who knows what's going to happen when you're there? I think they had an open bar for a couple hours too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they did. And Mark, we missed the best part about all of this. The Huff and Puff, the big bad wolf, was there taking pictures with everyone else. Everybody loves or hates those Huff and Puff machines, but you can't hate the big bad wolf.
Did anybody get kicked out for being advantage players though?
I don't know. Why are you always trying to stir the pot? But I'm sure there were some advantage players in the house. Advantage players love slots too.
Yeah, and if they're giving away a ton of stuff, that increases your chance of winning a little bit extra, probably gives you a little bit more positive EV. So I'm sure they were there hopping around.
And staying downtown with Derek Stevens, the Neon City Festival officially confirmed it's coming back for the third straight year. This is the festival that coincides with F1 weekend, so November 20th through 22nd. But as of now, no announcements for bands or lineups or anything else, but they have confirmed that it is coming back.
Yeah, for the Screw F1 crowd, right? Go hang out.
Yeah, Screw F1 crowd. There's a lot of people who got to Screw F1. We'll talk about that story a little bit later. But this is a free festival. It's been incredible, and it's good to see it coming back for another year, and hopefully it continues to be successful alongside F1 going into the future.
Yeah, it's really good for the downtown casinos. The first year of F1, it was pretty desolate down there, so this is a reason to bring people in. And if you're not interested in the race, but you happen to be in town, or if you live in the area and it's free, you definitely want to go check it out. Looks like a good time every year.
Well, let's talk F1 class action, Mark. Remember from the original race, that Thursday practice, there was a manhole cover or something that came up and they had to cancel practice and they kicked everybody out, didn't refund their money, and they got sued. And this was one of the big F1 lawsuits, and it's finally been settled. This class action lawsuit settled for just over $3 million. You don't have to register anything. I guess you had to scan your ticket in order to be eligible for this. That makes sense. And yeah, they're sorry. They're very, very sorry.
Yeah, they didn't admit any wrongdoing, though. It's like, yeah,
I know they're not actually sorry.
Yeah, you were wrong. Like, the people bought a ticket, you canceled the event, and they should have got their money back. They shouldn't even have required a lawsuit. The sad thing is people probably won't even get the amount of money that their ticket was when it's all said and done. I wouldn't be surprised if they get less than that, and that just kind of stinks. And I'm sure they are all have a sour taste in their mouth for F1. It's a bad way to kick off your first time in a new city. They should have just proactively refunded everybody. Hey, if you had a ticket, whether it's a multi-day ticket, whether it's just the day ticket, even if you scanned it or didn't scan it, here you go. Here's your money back. That's the way it should have been done.
Yeah, with as much money as goes through that race and stuff, $3 million, this is really pocket change. And this goes to people who had Thursday-only tickets or 3-day tickets that included Thursday, and they're going to look at what the market price was of the tickets and try to figure something out. So we don't know how much each person is going to get, but yeah, like you said, it would have been all solved by just refunding the money.
Yeah, like any event that gets canceled does. I don't understand why they didn't, but oh well. At least they're getting something.
In a second, we're going to talk about the new Tropicana overpass coming out of the freeway, all of that stuff. But before we do, I'd love to invite you to subscribe. Thousands of you are watching the show who aren't subscribed. Help us reach our goals and get more people and all that good stuff. But Mark, yeah, Tropicana version 4 we've been doing the show long enough to know that they've had different versions of this. I think the last version was in 2023, which was an underpass under Tropicana. Backing up, this is Tropicana as you come out of the airport where Thomas and Mac is and all of that. And they've had different proposals for getting traffic over or under Tropicana, basically eliminating that stoplight and helping things out. And a couple different versions. A big old long mega bridge was proposed at one point. That was too expensive. Then a couple years ago, we covered where they were going to build a tunnel on Tropicana. One half of traffic would go underground. And now we're back to the bridge proposal, which is coming in a little bit cheaper. And it seems like this is something they can actually build. Here's what it'll look like, or here's a schematic of it. And I think this is great. It's going to have like a flyover and you'll be able to merge. And this will be much better for traffic coming out of the airport.
Yeah, I think this is much needed and it will help the congestion in the area. It's just sad. What's this been going on? Like 8 years, 7 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's a long project. And County Commissioner Jim Gibson basically said he's happy that they finally have a version of the project that they can actually pay for. And after all of this, this is a sort of exciting. I think it looks great. And I do actually think this will be an improvement. They've been doing a lot of improvements to the airport, a lot of things they could do better. One thing people who don't live here may not know is as the city has grown, that bypass through the airport is used by a lot of locals and the traffic has gotten crazy. So anything you can do to help move things along.
Yeah, if we just get the dang Teslas in the tunnels going, it would help too.
Why didn't they use Boring Company to dig these tunnels on Tropicana Avenue? That would have been cheaper, right?
You would think. I mean, that's what they always say is they do it at a fraction of the cost of everyone else.
So we have some bad news. We talked recently on, I think on the last show, bad timing for us. We talked about the $3.99 sliders at Casino Royale.
Sean killed it.
That is after White Castle went in. And then they decided the $3.99 hot dog was too cheap and they made it a $4.99 hot dog. So just as our show came out and we talked about the $3.99 hot dog, of course, the price went up. But my question now is, at $4.99, is this even cheap eats anymore? Is this even a deal? I mean, we've just watched this thing go up by 50 cents, $1. Now it's just $5 is a lot.
Yeah, they skipped right over $4.49. From what I've heard, it's not the best hot dog, so I don't think that it would be a good deal. I mean, if you're getting a foot long for $5 and it's a pretty decent hot dog, I don't think it's a bad deal. It's just not like cheap eats. Costco is the OG cheap eats for hot dogs.
Yeah, and Costco famously loses money on every hot dog, so we don't expect $1.50 on the strip, but $4.99, that for me would be like, well, I mean, I'm not eating those hot dogs all the time. I think there's probably better options, but it used to be a thing though, cheap hot dogs all over the strip, and this was sort of like holding in there and we're losing it. But when are we getting that giant tower over Casino Royale?
I don't know. Just walk down the stage door, get some cigarette butts and a cheap hot dog over there.
All the Vegas that you need right there. But if you didn't have enough Vegas, let's talk our favorite street performer. This is the guy who loves to sing as people go to jail. Like, you're going to jail tonight. We've talked about that before. But in this case, this guy seemingly was messing with him. And we don't see the video of like what happened before, but he somehow busted his knee messing with the street performer. And then he's just like over there. He can't stand up. And then the paramedics have to come. And then, of course, it's all narrated via song. This is incredible. Make sure you guys click and listen to the whole thing.
And the ambulance tonight. Homie about to hit the hospital. He done tore his knee. I'm the brother on the microphone killing all the beats.
Yeah, this is the best one he's done yet, just because the guy was messing with him and then he thinks he tore his ACL and he breaks it all out in the song. I wonder who called the paramedics, how long he was sitting there, but the dude just had to take it on the chin in the video, in the song. Everybody walking by looks like a fool. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and he can't stand up because his knee is busted. So he's just sort of stuck there until the paramedics come, and then they do a great job. Our first responders always helping people. And, you know, this is just a reminder that they deal with the weirdest stuff every single day.
Yeah, mess with the monks. Don't mess with the actual performers.
Especially not him. He's so great. You know, those guys, those singers, there's several of them that are kind of mainstays on the strip. We were just talking before the show. They really add to the vibe and the atmosphere. You start to kind of recognize their voices, and it just becomes part of what the strip is.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the same without them. So pay him respect, walk by, enjoy the songs. Don't do something stupid, otherwise you end up on a famous TikTok.
So let's jump out to Primm, Mark, and there's not a lot new to report. The casino, Primm Valley, is open. The hotels still aren't open, but Terrible's is getting ready to open at least Primm Valley, and then for events, Buffalo Bills will open as well. So just like it was before they took over, but the one big difference that they have announced is no resort fees. So that will fix it all.
Yeah, totally. People are going to drive the 30 minutes just to save the $20 or whatever. No, I do like this though. Is it's something that they can promote and kind of hold on to, similar to what we see with Four Queens downtown. I don't know how much it resonates with people. I don't know that it really drives a bit, but it's something to talk about and something that some people will say, hey, if you stay out there, there's no resort fees, even if the prices are similar to comparable hotels near the strip. But I'm just waiting for them to open up Buffalo Bills. Let's get that going. And I want to stay out there when that's all opened up, and that would be a lot of fun.
And get Desperado going. Please make that your priority. We want the roller coaster back. But yeah, Mark, here's their advertising campaign. Avoid the resort fees from the strip. Just drive 40 minutes out to Primm.
We've said it multiple times. Everybody that was sad to see it go, make sure you go out there and support it once it's up and running. Go if you didn't get to do the send off when you thought it was going away, at least go there and say thank you for keeping it alive. Support it.
And let's hope they move the Sasquatch over there from Gene. That would be great. We need that Jack Link Sasquatch.
I don't know that will bring people in, but okay.
I think I'm the only single person in the world who's obsessed with that Sasquatch. Every video I've done from there, everything, he always shows up. So there you go. There's
Bonnie and Clyde is what you need. We got it. There we go.
As a reminder, we have our Patreon. We do our weekly after show, bonus content, money saving guide. Lots of fun over there. It helps support the show as well. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. We hope you join us over there. Thanks to everybody in our community.
Thanks, everybody.
Well, Mark, we have to talk about the age-old discussion of cashless gaming. And Resorts World, you know, we kind of go back in time, but Resorts World made a big splash with cashless gaming when they opened. And just a couple months ago, they announced the end of cashless gaming. So it completely failed and they're not doing it. But that hasn't stopped stuff. We talked about Plaza's test with cashless at the machines. And it seems like Station Casinos is doing the same thing. They rolled this out to their 76 taverns, and now they're testing it at Durango. And this is Apple Pay cashless. Right now, no fees, but probably there will be fees, just like an ATM would have in the future. But basically just tapping your Apple Pay at the machine and you can load the money right there. It does have to be hooked to a debit card. This doesn't work with a credit card. Is this too far?
I mean, I kind of like it and I kind of hate it at the same time. I like if they keep it fee free, which I think it should be. I think they should keep it, or at least very low fee, if anything. And I like that it's Apple Pay, so it's already kind of integrated into your phone. Hopefully they come out with something like Android Pay too. And it's just everybody should be used to it. Tap, add the money. The downside is you don't have to get up. You don't have to walk away from the machine. You don't have that cool down time to go to the ATM, time to think about it. The negative probably outweighs the positive here. But I don't mind it. And I kind of like that it's just like, boom, there you go. You don't need to carry around money if you hate doing that normally. If you're going to your Airbnb, you don't want money, right?
Still a lot of kerfuffle happening around that whole story. So we'll see if we ever get a resolution on that. But I was thinking about this a few different ways. So when they invented ATMs, right, they didn't have the technology to put an ATM in every slot machine. So they had to have a machine you had to go to. But back in that time when you had coins and stuff, you did have like change people often in the banks of machines where they would just give you money or all that sort of stuff. I mean, but there's no barrier to entry here because with like the Plaza technology, I think you had to sign up for an account in the same one at Resorts World, right? And then once you're signed up, you're in their system and stuff. But this doesn't require that. It's basically taking the ATM withdrawal, using Apple Pay at your machine without a card. This is as barrier-free to getting your money as possible. And that, I mean, that's a little concerning.
And then you could be a 6-year-old gambling with a phone. Oh, that's next show, right?
Why you gotta ruin all that? I mean, I don't know. I just think that we've all been with somebody or been ourselves so drunk or messed up and, you know, tilting off in a casino and just being able to tap like that. I don't know. It's a little dangerous. Of course, you're going to have limits on ATMs anyway. And if you're trying to do like crazy damage, you probably aren't going to be able to do this. I think the limit on this is $2,000 a day as well. But I think this is the future. That's the key, is that the technology is catching up and you don't need to have an ATM machine when you can put the technology in every machine. And whether we like it or not, this is happening.
Yeah, we've already kind of moved this way with online sportsbook and online casinos and how easy it is to move money from bank accounts there. I think that this is actually better than that because transferring money from bank accounts, the limits are much higher. I know you said $2,000, but I'm sure when you're using a debit card through Apple Pay, your bank will even have certain limits. Sometimes it's 500, sometimes it's 1,000, depends on the banks, but you can set up some of those limits as well, where when you're playing on your app on your phone, you can just move massive amounts of money, like 5,000, 10,000, and it doesn't do anything.
Well, slippery slope, but that's what the casinos are all about. We'll continue to cover it. Mark Melcher had an incredible article covering all of this, the tests at station casinos, all of that. I'll put a link down below. You guys can read all about it. But let's close with this. Fontainebleau has not announced anything officially, but there were some rumblings of some moving around on the casino floor, reimagining, if you will, of the high limit slot room, perhaps moving tables, and they relocated the rewards desk. And according to some people, they're going to better integrate the high limit slots and high limit table area. I always thought the high limit slot room there was a little bit of an afterthought given our current situation in the gambling world, where every slot room is becoming nicer and nicer. So I'm not surprised that they're doing this so soon, but we really don't know exactly what they are doing. They have recently partnered with Vegas Matt, so they're running all these events and they're becoming heavy into that space. So yeah, I think that this is probably a needed move for them.
Yeah, it's the influencer effect for sure. And everybody wants to do bigger bets on the slots, and they need a space for that. And same thing with table games. We see huge bets on those from the influencers, and I think people are pushing more and more in that realm. So it's kind of a good idea to have them connected and combined, and it makes a lot more sense. So I think this is a good move on their part, and maybe this will be kind of getting them out of that hole that they dug when they started. And if they're partnering up with Vegas Matt and some others, and you just see like a push of more and more people wanting to check out the place.
And maybe the high rollers in the audience can chime in here, but I do think high limit rooms that are more private, and again, they have to be open to the public, but they're more closed off from the casino, are a little nicer. We talked about Cosmo's new high limit room, how I don't always love that space because it is sort of exposed. I think the Fontainebleau room is very similar in that way. It is blocked off in some ways, but I don't know. I never felt like the nicest area if I was a true high roller to be spending some time in compared to some of the other ones in town. So yeah, I think that this is probably a good thing. And it's not a surprise for them to reimagine. Hell, MGM Grand was already tearing out all kinds of stuff within a couple of years of opening. So this is not anything new in Vegas.
No, I mean, they're shuffling stuff around all the time in every casino, but I'm with you. I like when they have like that false little half wall in front of the entry to kind of block your viewpoint, and you have to walk through the sides to get into the high limit rooms. And I really do enjoy when it's the table games in the middle, surrounded by slots and all of that. And like we've said, even if you're not gambling, go to the high limit room bar, sit down. Sometimes the machines there aren't too bad. Better drinks, better pours, better service usually, and you can play a little bit on the machines there.
So let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. The high limit at Fontainebleau. Are you excited for that facelift? The new exit coming out of the airport, will that finally get built? Are you excited for that? Singing on the strip, street performers. That video, leave a comment. We do a few shows a week. We'll be back on Friday with another show. Thanks so much for watching. And we're going to talk about the kids and the slot machines. How about that? Talk to you next time.
Yeah, and everybody playing the game. Sean said one kerfuffle so that you get better of drink. But have a great week, everybody.